Hi there. Are you looking for a way to get your students more motivated and interested in their literacy learning? One of the ways you can do that is data tracking. Data tracking gives students a why, a purpose for learning. Data tracking also helps them see where they are and helps them to set goals for the future of a place that they would like to be. When students have a why and a purpose behind their learning, they're more motivated to do their best all the time, which in the end supports increased growth and progress with literacy. One way you can track data is by using kid-friendly graphs. We have a program that we use at Pioneer Valley Books called In Tandem, where we've got some embedded progress monitoring. We also have some student data trackers that we offer as well, which are a great way to get students involved in the process of taking ownership over their learning and being involved in the process of tracking their data and setting goals to increase that motivation. But there are many ways you can do it. I'm going to show you some examples with In Tandem that maybe you can apply to whatever curriculum it is that you're using. When planning and deciding what measures to use for data tracking with students, consider the curriculum that you're using. This is an example of an In Tandem lesson from Pioneer Valley Books that has some built-in progress monitoring. And there's a few different steps. The first step has students reread prior read books from the lesson and past lessons to teachers. And after they're finished reading, they do a short retelling of the story, and the teacher tracks their score out of 4 on a retelling rubric and their fluency score out of 4 using a fluency rubric that's provided with the program. There's also a step for spelling where students spell words that contain the phonic element that was the focus of the lesson. So this lesson, the phonics focus was short vowels O and U. They're also assessing sight words. So the directions here have students spell the sight word that was the target throughout the lesson and then choose 2 other previously taught sight words to assess students on. This is data that I can track. So once you see the assessments that are embedded within your program, you can decide on a measure with which to track those with students that you might think will go over and be easy enough for them. You want to make sure it's something that students can understand, students can follow, students can speak to, because this is going to really help them set goals with you, set goals for themselves, and really increase their motivation. This is an example of the In Tandem student data tracker. As you can see, there's parts that correspond with those pieces I just spoke about. The retelling and fluency come from that reading portion, and then there's the spelling portion of the progress monitoring assessment that addresses words with the phonic element and sight words that were taught within the lesson and prior taught sight words. So this is something that will work with more than just one lesson. As you can see, I put lesson number across the bottom. Each new lesson will retrack the progress monitoring data and just see how things are going with students. I have a completed one that I'm gonna go ahead and show you here. This is just an example from a student, her name is Riley. As you can see, she did lesson 14. Her retelling score was 2. After lesson 15, she was still at a 2. Lesson 16, she jumped up, did a little bit better there. You can see her results corresponding with fluency for those same lessons, the phonics, and the sight words. Something about Riley is you can see that she's pretty good with her retelling and her fluency. Her sight word knowledge is actually pretty strong when it comes to reading sight words, but she's got some tough times with spelling them. This data tracking measure is awesome because students love to check in. They love to use different colors and graph and color in their progress. This is something that they can share with you, share with their parents. But something else this is really great for is goal setting. I used to call them data chats when I was in the classroom, but those are just one-on-one, really quick check-ins with students. This is a great thing to have them bring with them to start setting goals. I would just say, bring your data tracker with you. And then when they sit down, I would say, okay, let's look at this. You tell me, what do you see? What are your strengths? What are some things you might want to work on? And Riley can say to me, well, I'm getting better in retelling. I'm pretty good with my phonics words. I can see there's a pattern going on here. I want to work on getting better at my sight words. Set a measurable, realistic goal to help improve her spelling of sight words. We can check in on that goal. So the data tracker is just an awesome way to collaborate with your students on their learning and have them take some ownership.